Bill Townley, a chap I've known almost 60 years as a friend and a work colleague and as a super filmmaker.
I first bought a Kodak Standard 8 cine camera, and it cost me 10 quid, and that was the equivalent to about 3 weeks' wages. That was in those days. Your wages were just slightly under 3 quid a week, and you got to live off that. So how could I make bloody films as well on that? Anyway, I got this camera, and one of the neighbours, he was a potter, he asked me to come to the Blythe Bridge Camera Club. So I went there and I made tea because they were busy. And you know, I was at this camera club for 3 years. All I did was make tea because they weren't interested in making films. This film came about because of no recognition at all belonging to Baskeyfield. You went and asked in the 1960s anything about him and nobody knew. You even go to the library, nobody knew anything. You had to go to the central office and dig things out, background stuff. And I thought, well, this is wrong. And I thought, well, I'll do something about it. I've got my own films, I thought, right, I'll go out and make a story about him and let people know through the story why it was that he got the VC, and at least it'll enable people to understand, because I say nobody knew. So I went about doing this, and I got people involved, no actors, all lads out the street, and hired all the uniforms and the weapons. I thought, it can be done, this can. So, okay, we set about doing it, and it took 3 years to make this film. 3 years of my life went into making this. We needed a bridge in the film, a location. And a chap I knew, he used to work on the railway, and he said, I know where there's a railway bridge. I said, yes, over the river, yes. Well, when I got there, I looked at it, the bridge. You couldn't see it. It was like a jungle. Just then you couldn't see the bridge, it was obscured. So I thought, right, if I want to get a jeep and some action on that bridge, that lot's got to be cleared. It took a whole week before I could get a jeep to go across that bridge, and we pulled it off. It nearly killed me. So didn't fall off. And it gave me a lot of pleasure. It gave a lot of the folks pleasure as well, so it was worth doing. Over nearly 20 years I went round taking that film just so people could have the pleasure of seeing it. I never ever made any money out of that film. It cost me money go round in work and time and money and everything to go and take that film to show it to them. I never got anything back. I didn't do it for money. It is I was wealthy, I was skint. But the thing is, you did it. And that was the end of that. That's how it went about making films. A lot of patience went into it. A lot of patience. I made them laugh from some places, telling funny stories. No, it was a labour of love. That was about all you could describe it for.
Legends were told of this man of Arnhem. Stories of his courage were an inspiration to all ranks. He spurned danger. He defied pain. In fighting spirit, he stood supreme.
It got Jack Baskeyfield remembered because nobody had heard of the lad. And today, I think on the strength of that, showing that film and making people in the potteries aware of him, we've now got a statue of him in the potteries. And you could see that at the festival site, Jack on the gun. And I thought, well, there we are. You remember now, Jack. So, another good job there done. Otherwise, I don't think anything would become of him. I don't, honestly. Yeah. I'm glad we made it, because today, you couldn't make it today. You'd never get the permits, police permits, you wouldn't get the weapons, they wouldn't allow you to have them. I had a £6 anti-tank gun at teen. I was blowing things up, I was blowing folks up in fields with dynamite. I was nearly killing people. And I got no insurance, I couldn't afford insurance. I mean, when I wanted some men, one Saturday afternoon I was 2 men short, I went to the nearest pub in Creswell. And I got 2 coal men and they were black. I said, here, put these on. These parachute smocks, get these on. Do your stuff here, and they did it. Then they went back up the pint. That's my actors, no contracts. You must remember that people are giving you their time. And without their help, you wouldn't have had any. Well, I could advise anybody who's interested in making films, is it the very essence of the film, the story, the content? You've got to consider what it's going to do, and the main thing, have you got the bloody willpower to do it? And if you believe in yourself, you'll do it. You'll do it. Yes, you'll do it.